Push. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unam Stadium here in Windhoek City for the Debmarine Premiership is back, and we are back with a what last season would have been a highly contested fixture. Perhaps not so much this afternoon, but still an important fixture for both teams as they climb the ranks to the title for this 2024-2025 Debmarine Premiership season. My name is Emmanuel Nkara. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. So tell your football friends and family that we are live. Tell your football friends and family that we are live to see the Red Army gain 3 points. Well, any points if we can really make sure about points, but hopefully a 3 points for African Stars versus Ongos FC. It is Ongos FC who are the home team. And today it will be an important 3 points. Coming back from the MTC Maris Cup, it's been a while. Of course, the last fixture was KK Palace, match day 11 for African Stars. KK Palace, a 2-1 victory there in Oshakati, as well as a very highly contested 2-0 victory against Chula Chula. The boys went on to the MTC Maris Cup and did a good job against Bucks Buccaneers. We'll have a word about that throughout the game. But we are back for the Debmarine Premiership. FC Ongos versus African Stars at the Unam Stadium. Just before kickoff, we'll try to give the starting lineups, but pretty sure Wango Gome, the captain there in the center field, would like to get the game underway, and there we go. It was raining quite heavily here just a few moments ago. There was a FMB Super League game with Unam Bokis, but the pitch is in good condition, and here is Elago Simon, one of the players to definitely watch out for throughout this fixture, the number 15 for FC Ongos, but Willow doing some defensive work and clearing his lines. Oh, a little bit of a contention there between Bakonja and the defender. And that's the first foul given against African Stars. Nicodemus Haikali, a man that loves to score against African Stars, the number 17. Apologies, the number 13. Gianluca, back to the strongest man in the league, who has 3 goals so far this season, Vitapi Ngaruka, on the ball right now. So perhaps in his heyday, he might have been a striker. Don't tell him I told him I said that. And Charles Ambira just with the strong pass down the line for Jackson Johannes on that left back position. At a moment of pause, we will read out the starting lineups for both teams, starting with the home team, FC Ongos. And here down the line goes number 11, Puna, fighting hard against Charles. Charles might have thought he might have won a free kick there, but it's still in the hands of Puna. And here's the man on his return, Ibrahim Yosef Juja, scoring in his first game in the MTC Maris Cup. So welcome back, Juja. Wangu Gome. Hey, old school football from Wangu Gome. A player that has even impressed me. Cross comes in from Puna, but safely in the hands of Marvin Lukaku Kasetura. And here is Awilo. Gianluca to his captain, Ronald Kechiere Stiga. Ngero Katua, who's very familiar with this pitch as a former UNAM player. Must be commended that the UNAM staff here have kept this field in pristine conditions, obviously after such a rainy season here in Windhoek City. Kamutuzu, the number 8 there, the defensive midfielder on the ball now. Kamutuzu is going to have a very interesting job against the Red Army, and that is a handball on Haikali. Starting lineups for FC Ongos is Hamibu Yakubu, number 18, number 10, the captain Wangu Gome, number 13, one danger man, Nicodemus Haikali, who always seems to score against African Stars. Number 32, the goalkeeper, Johannes Matthews. Number 17, number 24, Prince Archer. Number 7, Malakia Temos. That's a missed pass there from Ngero. Bakonja with the chest down to Awilo. Gianluca. Good controlled football here from African Stars. And Juja, well, he has been staying fit in Comoros. So no questions about if he is fit enough to come back into the starting lineup for African Stars. And just to finish off that bench for Ongos FC, number 19, Michael Shoya, and number 14, Homset. Where's Awilo? Good tackle there from Boye. Almost used his hand in the same moment, but was able to clear. Simon with the chest down. Elago. And that should be a foul. It was clear as day, but the referee allowing play on, and Nicodemus Aikali is deemed to be offside. But the referee could actually bring it back to a moment there against Elago Simon. And it was, in fact, Gianluca that maybe used his hands and frailed his hands too much to catch the number 15. And that is the starting lineup for Marvin Bakera's FC Ongos team. Apologies. It's not the coach anymore. We will get the official coach's name. That is what is on the team sheet. But we do know that it is not Marvin Bakera. And starting lineup for African Stars, we have Gianluca Katua, Hambira Stiga, Awilo, Rika Mujua, who has just trying to find change of play to Jackson Johannes. Jackson should not be caught in those positions. He just needs to maybe find a pass. And that's a throw into FC Ongos. Marvin Kasetura, Vitapin Garuka, Joseph Juja, Jackson Johannes, and Bakonja Chahikika make up the starting lineup for the Red Army. Here's Garuka. Puksa. Oh, that's a beautiful touch from Awilo. Back to Jean-Luca. Jean-Luca puts it into the box. It's very well done. Juja. He can't spin. He can't spin enough to get something on target. But Jean-Luca, the right back, with an assist in the Maris Cup, maybe looking for another assist. Let's see if he can find one here, but he comes back to Awilo. And it's a shot from Rika. It's off target. We are in the thick of things here at the UNAM Stadium with the supporters. Of course, if you've been to UNAM, you would know how the field is structured. So I apologize for any language, some saucy language. Not for myself, but from the spectators that are joining me here. I have FC Ongos right next to me. And I have African Stars on supporters on my right. So I'm right in the middle. Corner comes in from Awilo. Headed out there from the number 2, Tomo. Stiga will do what a captain does. Just cleaning up well. Changing play. Too much for Jean-Luca. Throw into Ongos. Simon. Back to Tomo. Tomo tries to find Puna. And Jackson Johannes just clears back into Ongos FC territory space. It's a goal kick. Caught out there. Good interception there from Rika. Katua. Back to Rika. He needs to control that. He can still maybe find the cross. He's rushed it. Back into the hands of Ongos. Oh, good skill there. Rika might not want to see that again. And it's found into grass from Elago Simon. And I'm not going to jot that down as a shot on target. Maybe caught in between two minds. He maybe had more space to take it on. Maybe shift his body to his right foot and try to beat Marvin at perhaps the far post, but choosing to trust his left foot first time, well wide. Here's Charles Ambira. Good 1-2 there between Jackson Johannes and Awilo. And Jackson, with a natural left foot, you would maybe expect better from him. But those deep crosses from deep from Jackson Johannes will come. It's one of the danger points from Jackson Johannes, of course, replacing Edmund Kambanda, who scored in the previous game in the MTC Maris Cup. Slip. There was a slip there from Garuka. And while he was able to maybe flick it back to his goalkeeper, Elago Simon caught it. And while he took a heavy touch, he thought he could still capitalize on the opportunity. Marvin Lukaku Kasetura came for the ball very bravely, but unfortunately was caught maybe face first, boot to face. And that is agonizing. Of course, African Stars have Chatimbi on the bench, the substitute goalkeeper, who actually celebrated his birthday just 2 days ago, so happy birthday to him. He might have to come into the game. No yellow card. It was an equal opportunity for Elago Simon. And just to read out the substitutions for African Stars, we have Godwin Isep, Paulus, Chatindi, the substitute goalkeeper, Romario Njavera, Dion Dennis, Jomo Chiveta, Harold Gassep, Given Mutuzu, and January is the entire team for Benny, Coach Benny Hausep. So only Edmund Kambanda, who obviously received a red card, a straight red card. Nope, not a straight red card, apologies. No, it was a straight red card. Well, received a red card nonetheless in the 2 games in Oshakati. It was against Chula Chula that he received that red card, so he has been banned for 2 games. He will be coming back into the team in the next fixture. And we're just looking at these images here with Marvin Kazitura. He does not look good. He just stood up and he has to be put back down onto the pitch. And here comes the more advanced medical team. Of course, Alfredo, the team doctor, is attending to his goalkeeper, but the 977 medical staff have been called onto the pitch by the referee, because this might be more concerning than expected. It is a head injury, so the referee had to immediately stop the game. We do see Ngero Katua putting up his hands, maybe telling the bench that a substitution probably does not need to be made. But I can say that Chatindi is warming up. Let us know where you are watching from, football friends and family. We are live at the Unam Stadium. And of course, Ongos FC versus African Stars is always a hotly contested game. Last season, in what was probably one of the best games of the season, the first game of the season was Ongos FC versus African Stars at the Independence Stadium. Ongos beat African Stars 3-2. And then at the end of the season, the last game of the season ended, well, the teams, and that was really the point that got African Stars over the line against Ongos FC, who were the next closest challengers for the title last season. So that draw was very important. But you have to go to the season before last season to find the last time African Stars actually beat FC Ongos in a 2-1 scoreline. And the game before that obviously drew 1-1. So FC Ongos can say that they have beaten African Stars last, but round of applause to Marvin Kasitura, who is able to continue the game. Let's hope his vision hasn't been impaired. He gets the ball back now from Garuka. He looks fine to continue. Stars needs to be careful. They do not want to give FC Ongos any opportunity, any free meat on the plate of opportunity. Coach Benny on the touchline already talking to his players, and the referee has stopped the game because Marvin Kasitura has gone down once again. I do not believe he's going to be able to continue the game. His hands are in his face, medical doctor Alfredo is really calling for some assistance here. He has to be stretched off. The game is done for the number one goalkeeper for African Stars. So a substitution will have to be made immediately, I believe. I don't think the game can continue without a goalkeeper. The referee will just have to await Chatindi to get ready, probably just putting on his gloves, as that will be the first substitution for African Stars at the 15th minute of the game. And he's done well, Marvin Kasitura. Hopefully this injury will not be a prolonged one. Of course, he did concede one goal against KK Palace, and the previous game, a cup game in the Maris Cup against Bucks Buccaneers, but did not concede against Chula Chula, did not concede against Komas Nampo. Two important games there. So he has been trustworthy. Of course, great communication between him and the back four of African Stars. But unfortunate injury from Lago Simon. Not a tackle out of malice. He was trying to get the ball. And the substitution has been made. The number 13, Chatindi, making his way to the goalposts of the Red Army. Round of applause from the spectators here. And speedy recovery to Marvin Kasitura, who is being put into the back of the ambulance. Game continues. Foul. And as the birthday boy Chatindi comes onto the pitch, there have been two other birthdays, of course. A 70th birthday for our CEO, Mr. Leslie Father. And another one for Coach Andrew Chahikika, who doesn't want us to reveal his age. Free kick comes in from Bakonja, cleared. So happy birthday to our CEO, Mr. Leslie, and team manager, Andrew Chahikika. Yes, Bakonja looks up, changes play, but it wasn't there to be changed. Hey, Lago Simon, don't play with this guy. Puts it into the box. Couldn't keep it in. Wangu Gome and Nicodemus Haikali just giving a round of applause to the left winger for good work cutting Gianluca in half. Gianluca, the right back for African Stars, needs to watch Elago. He's not to be played with. Tomo. Puna challenging with Jackson Janes. Javera tried to find with Bakonja on the number 8, Kamwe Tuzu. Kamwe Tuzu. Back to Tomo. Tomo just clearing his lines, and Gianluca Mist seems to be wayward here because Elago Simon is in front of him. Here's Nicodemus Haikali. Very, very good defending there from Garuka. It needed to be done as those step overs were very tricky from Nicodemus Haikali. First corner of the game for Ongos FC. Haikali taking his time. He's taking this corner like a penalty, and it's cleared quite easily at the front post. Bakonja and Wangu Gome. He is a man that you can't stop to appreciate. The captain for FC Ongos. Here he is, Gome. Bakonja. We'll probably jot that down as a shot off target as well. Bue. I think the wishing well for FC Ongos is this left flank, the left wing with Elago Simon. Chatindi getting his first touches on the ball. Stiga. Karuka clears well. Awilo coming into the game. Gianluca. Awilo can have time to look up. He looks for Juja. But it's in the hands of Johannes Matthews. Throws the ball long for Puna. Puna cuts back in. Ball retention there from FC Ongos. Yakubu. And that turn from Nicodemus Haikali maybe fooled Vitapi Ngaruka, or just fooled the referee to earn a free kick. And the Red Army here in attendance did not like that. Stiga with the interception. Juja couldn't find the ball back to Stiga, and good defending there from the number 3 in Jamvera, the right back Stanley in Jamvera. Gome. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Every time Wangu Gome, the number 10, the captain for FC Ongos, gets the ball, I just remember of the times that I used to play football. Awilo with a beautiful pass! And perhaps he should have taken it first time. It did fall to his favorite left foot. Bakonja, the star boy, it was so juicy for him to just hit it first time. Even if it went well wide, we would have appreciated his attempt. Tried to control it, and it just fizzled out for a goal kick. No clear-cut opportunities for both teams, it must be said. 2 shots off target for African Stars. No shots entirely for FC Ongos. So a betting man would say Stars are in the ascendancy here. Not dominating, but just having the better opportunities. Boy going back to his goalkeeper. Boy. It's a long central defender there. The number 5. Good header there from Jackson Johannes. Flick on there from Haita. And too much on that pass for the right winger Puna. And all we do know, of course, FC Ongos finished second in the log table last year. That's a foul. And they are currently fifth in the table. Of course, games will be played throughout today and tomorrow, but currently FC Ongos are fifth with 18 points. African Stars are top of the log with 21 points. Young African played yesterday against Tigers FC, and they drew in a 1-1 draw, which has been the same scoreline last season for both games between Tigers and Young African. Awilo with the shot, caught out. Kametuzu goes wide to Puna. Puna finds his captain, and it's out. So Tigers and Young African last season, both games ended in 1-1 draws. And yesterday, the same thing happened. A 1-1 scoreline between Young African and Tigers. So I think both teams discussed before the game and say, guys, let's just draw again 1-1. 3 times in a row now. So Young African are currently having the same points as African Stars, 21 points. But if this game ends this way, African Stars will earn a point to go to 22 points. But of course, we want all 3 points. Here's Ngaruka. And speaking of Tigers, of course, it is a postponed matchup that African Stars would have had tomorrow at the SKW Stadium. So 2 games have been postponed now. Garuka getting caught out there from Haikali. 2 games now postponed for against African Stars. The first game of the season, Young African. And match day, what we could call match day 12, are the 2 games that have been postponed. So African Stars will have a lot of games to play. Of course, the MTC Maris Cup has affected the fact that they have been playing a lot of games. So perhaps management just allowed them to postpone tomorrow's game. Juja working now, Slee with Makonja. Juja. Oh, he puts a player on the floor. Good trickery there from Ibrahim Yosef. And what's interesting, the player might even be injured after that. The number 3, Stanley Njavera, the right back. He was jiggered out of his boots. I want to see more of that from Ibrahim Yosef Juja. Maybe he could have taken a shot himself from that angle. Here's Puna. Caught out from Ngero Katua. But Gome comes with intelligence. But Stiga comes with better intelligence to just do the right thing. There's about 60 to 80 spectators here at the UNAM Stadium here in Windhoek City. Let us know where you are watching from. An important fixture. And of course, Ongos FC did not have a good start to the season. Well, the same can be said maybe for African Stars. And while many had FC Ongos to be one of the teams that really challenge, they find themselves in 5th. And what can be said about Khomas Nampo? Khomas Nampo, who were leading the log for many game weeks, have now fallen down to 6th. Khomas Nampo. So it looks like they have given up. But in 2nd, Young African. In 3rd, Mighty Gunners. and in fourth, Tigers FC. Kametuzu goes to Tomo. Tomo trying to find Puna on that right wing. Jackson Johannes with the header, but it's back in the hands of the captain. Garuka with an important header. Puna tried to beat Jackson Johannes, but Jackson did well. Tomo. Bue. Simon. Oh, beautiful touch by this guy, man. It's a slip. My goodness. What? I was almost speechless. There. It was a very, very interesting slip there from Chatindi, and maybe that's a sign. I can tell you that the FC Ongos bench were talking to themselves and saying, hey, it stars, he would not want to see that highlight again. This makes the game very, very interesting. Just with a bad first touch, and he followed through, and that's the first yellow card of the game for the number 15 of African Stars. It's a clumsy one to give up. Play on. No foul given on Ilago Simon. Charles Ambira just has to work there to get Gome off the ball, but Gome is so crafty, wins the throw-in. A round of applause even from the African Stars supporters. Kametuzu. Javera puts the ball in. Haikali was challenged from Ngaruka. Awilo versus Ibrahim Yosef. Chuja comes back into the middle of the pitch for Rika. And that's Tika taking that shot. It was laid to him lovelily by Rika Mujua. African Stars really need to look more to that left wing play with Juja. He seems to be getting the better of Stanley and Javera at right back for FC Ongos. I mean, he put him on the floor just 10 minutes ago with some crafty footwork. So let's see how that battle goes between the left wing of African Stars and the right back of FC Ongos. Here's Wangu Gome. Beautiful pass. A low center of gravity, he is Wangu Gome, the number 10. He does everything so nicely. He shields the ball. Oh my goodness. Ngero Katua is a crazy, crazy man. My goodness. Luckily, he doesn't earn a yellow card with that challenge. So no yellow card for that, but wow, what a foul that was. Sometimes in championship teams, you need somebody who's just willing to stop play at any means necessary. The ball is lofted in. It's deemed to be offside. Not from my viewing. Second offside there for FC Ongos. No offsides yet for African Stars in this first half. And interestingly so, no shots off target or on target for FC Ongos. So while the head coach of FC Ongos would probably be happy with how the game has gone so far, his team have not put anything on the tally of shots on goal. Willow just leaving the ball to a miscommunication between himself and Gianluca. Gome finds Simon. Oh, step over there, trying to fool Charles Ambira. Eish. It's a good cross to Haikali. Hey, Jackson Johannes. Second corner of the game for FC Ongos. Eish. Elago Simon, the number 15 on this left wing for FC Ongos. I mean, you have to watch out. You really, really have to watch out. The connection between himself, Haikali, and Gome, if it works, it could end up in the back of the net. Headed away from Katua. Haita just doing a touch finder. Garuka doing the same. Chest down from Garuka. Stiga. Garuka. Rika. Good first touch. Chatindi. Footwork is needed here. Calm heads are needed here at the back line for African Stars. They do not want to lose the ball. And they have. Calm heads. Coach Benny Housep coming out of his touchline, just telling his players, calm, stay calm. And of course, that's just the dynamics that change for your team when your starting goalkeeper goes off injured. And for those of you who are just joining us, Marvin Lukaku Kasetura went off at the 15th minute of the first half, which you would call it a nasty injury to the head. No blood, but maybe a slight concussion there. He received a challenge from Simon and was substituted from Chatindi. And there has been some nervy moments there at the back line for African Stars. So the FC Ongos supporters might be licking their lips here at the Unam Stadium. Ilago Simon. Good hands there for Chatindi. First time he has to catch a ball. Stiga. Running on the wing. Good tackle. Still in the hands of African Stars. Calm heads. Ngero Katua almost getting caught there from Nicodemus Aikali. And at this time, I just want to give a round of applause. That's onside. That's offside. Against Ibrahim Yosef Juja. At this point in time, I just want to send a shout out to the African Stars Queens team. Ladies, you guys have been doing a beautiful job this season. Not conceding one goal in 10 games. I mean, that really needs to be checked out. As two players are caught in two minds, Chatindi and Gianluca. Chatindi maybe just needed to tell his player to head it back to me. But then they collided, and Gianluca maybe has been impeded by his own goalkeeper here. And it was a simple ball. And we do not want to be too harsh on the goalkeeper that has come in to this game. Gianluca is able to continue. The referee is actually having a word with Ilago Simon, just to say maybe you were the one that initiated the commotion. And it is a foul to African Stars. Stability is probably the call of the day here. African Stars just need to become more stable. Maybe Awilo can bring that stability. Here's Bakonja as well. Juja, take Kome with a beautiful chip, man. Jesus, this guy. Puna goes back to Kome. Javera has time to put the cross in. Charles Mbira with his trusty header. Gome. Jackson Johannes just clearing the lines. Here's Bakonja. Rika put under pressure from FC Ongos. And the foul has been given, and it's very lucky there from Rika to win that foul. Maybe Awilo can do something now. He looks up, trying to find Juja. It goes to the back post, but straight out from Willie Stefanis. But again, just to close in what I was saying, congratulations, another victory for African Stars Queens, 1-0 today. A 1-0 victory today. And that actually puts them on top of the log. Of course, Beauties still have to play a game. And we do know already Ongos FC Ladies won their game 10-0. So those three teams, Beauties, African Stars Queens, and Ongos FC, fighting for that FMB Super Women's League. 5 minutes additional time. Stefanis, ball in the box. And Juja probably did the good thing there by leaving the ball, but there was no one to follow up. Puna has beaten Charles Mbira. He looks up. Oh, interception there from the strongest man in the league. Yakubu intercepts that ball from Awilo. Aikali, he tackled there. Good, strong tackle from Mbira. And Jonas Matthews has to come out to stop that ball reaching Juja. Bakonja puts it back into the box, and it's back into the hands of the goalkeeper. 4 minutes left in this first half. Oh, Elago Simon wins the free kick. To the frustration of the Red Army supporters here.
How many moments?
Free kick to be taken from Yakubu. Just go back to Tomo. Tomo with a little bit of a slip. Juja, Bakonja is still in the area. He can drift to his right foot. He's being impeded by a few players. Couldn't chop the ball underneath him. It was good pressure from Juja that started that small opportunity. And at the end of this first half, it has really heated up here at the Unum Stadium. Still 0-0. Gome. Aikali. And Puna too much on that ball to try and round Jackson Johannes. In the closing seconds of this first half, we'll see both teams perhaps going into the change rooms with this 0-0 scoreline. But still, it must be said, African Stars having one shot on target from Captain, our captain, and 2 shots off target. Ongos FC have not amounted any real attempts on goal. So what can be said? Beautiful chest there from Juja, almost finding Chahikika. Here's Rika, probably with the last opportunity of the game. Awilo maybe he's going to take a shot. He does! It's off target. But that's what you have to do at the end of the first half. He has done that before, Willie Stefanos. Vitapi Tomo trying to find Haikali in the hands of Chatindi. Johannes down the line to Juja. Back to Johannes. Johannes comes in field. Good turn there from Bakonja. It's a hard challenge. It's a hard challenge. And it's a yellow card to Mboye, the number 5 for FC Ongos. And Ngaruka and Mboye are now the 2 players that are talking to each other there. Of course, Ngaruka is asking the referee, there should have been an advantage play, as Rika Mujua maybe had the goal right in his sights to take a shot. He actually did take a shot, and the goalkeeper actually saved it quite comfortably. But in the run of play, it might have been different. But maybe the referee doing a favor for African Stars, as they have one last opportunity here to craft something to give them the lead. And just a reminder, that is the second yellow card of the game given to the number 5, the left-sided centre-back, Mbue. Of course, Rika Mujua, the African Stars player who received the first yellow card of the game. This is interesting. As you can see in our picture, the left-footed Bakonja against the right-footed Willie Stefanos. Who should take this? I believe it should be Stefanos. It's going to be Bakonja! And it's wide. And that is half time. The game was calculated in the first 30 minutes of the game. Marvin Kasetura went off injured, and Chatindi had to replace him for African Stars. Chances few and far between both teams. 2 yellow cards. But at the halfway mark, it is FC Ongos, no. African Stars, no. Join us for the second half. Gentlemen, second half is coming shortly. 0-0 between FC Ongos and African Stars. And of course, only one game in this game week or in this weekend. Tigers versus Stars has been postponed. It would have been at the SKW Stadium, a stadium that I haven't been to in a while. I used to play football there back in my day, but it is a match day 12 that has been postponed. So 2 games has been postponed for African Stars, as I mentioned earlier. So it's going to be interesting how those 2 games, when those 2 games are played. Of course, it might be before the Maris Cup, but Coach Benny Housep will have to use all his substitutes, all his bench players, and of course, the story of the day has to be a injury to Marvin Kasetura Lukaku, who has suffered a small head injury. I'm going to call it small. I don't know the extent of the injury, but hopefully he has a speedy recovery. And at this point in time, it's just in the center of our pitch. We have Bakonja Chahikika, who will center the start of the second half. The Namibian Premier League's leading top goal scorer was in the national wearing the number 10 jersey, but he was not selected. It's something that is quite unusual from Coach Colin Benjamin. Let us know in the comments if you believe Bakonja Chahikika should have been selected in that final selection. But as the second half begins, no substitutions. It can, as far as I can see, and there we go for the next 45. That will mean a lot. Of course, Young African having their 1-1 draw against Tigers, which maybe alleviates some responsibility on the Red Army to have a must win. Of course, we do not want draws as the champions, but a draw here wouldn't be too much of a bad result, as it is a home game for FC Ongos. Second half underway. Here's Katua, Rika, Stiga, the 3 midfielders. Garuka. Rika. Gianluca, who has had a tough time against Simon Ilago, but Simon Ilago has now changed flanks. He's come to the right wing, and Puna is on that left. The ball just needs to be replaced. Mr. Ref, the ball is pop. Of course, if they were defeated in the Maris Cup, they would be out. But in the Debmarine Premiership as well. So that final between African Stars and Young African will be hotly contested. I actually hope that Young African remain undefeated, so we can see a battle between two giants of current Namibian football. There was a foul there from Jackson Johannes on Elago Simon, and even though he is a player that is against African Stars, and I am an African Stars TV commentator, I wouldn't want to see the danger man for FC Ongos, the number 15, Simon Elago, to come off the pitch because number 15, Simon Elago, to come off the pitch because the guy plays football, my man. Makonja, Rika retains the ball well. If he's alone, he should probably just look for a corner. He does win the throw-in. Taken quickly. Awilo. Johannes just putting it back into the box. No foul there. Katua. Couldn't keep the ball in. Haikali. Javera. Tomo. What was he trying to do there, Elago Simon? You never know with his tricks and flicks. Puna. Easy free kick there. Yakubu. Haita. Hasn't really had any effect on the game. Emmanuel Haita, the number 17 in that defensive midfield position. Or Chatindi came out. This is going to be an interesting one. He didn't use his hand, but he did impede the player. And the referee, oh my goodness, this might be a very interesting passage of play, because, ladies and gentlemen, that is the only goalkeeper on the bench for African Stars, and if he has to go off for an injury, quite similarly against Simon Elago Simon came with an agenda: injure the goalkeeper by any means necessary. Injure the goalkeeper. Of course, Desiro, who is at Highbury FC in South Africa, might be watching this game online. I wonder what he would have to say. Marvin Kasetura Lukaku has been escorted to the hospital. He was substituted at the 15th minute, and now it seems the substitute goalkeeper for African Stars needs to be substituted as well, and we might see an infield player play goalie. Chatindi stands up. He seems to be okay. But nonetheless, that has to be a foul to FC Ongos. It's a yellow card. It's a yellow card to the goalkeeper. It's a tough outing here for the substitute goalkeeper, Chatindi. But luckily, he didn't concede a goal, a clear-cut opportunity on that attempt. He did his job. Got a yellow card for it, and maybe he has been banged up a little bit, but didn't concede, didn't use his hands, and it is a free kick to FC Ongos. Wow. These FC Ongos supporters and the team alike must be licking their lips, knowing that Chatini is maybe feeling the pressure of the game, and now he's had a knock to his head. Let's see if he's able to see the flight of the ball. Nicodemus Haikali and Elago Simon are prepping themselves. Yakubu is also there, the left back. Awilo is laying down on the pitch to see if the ball does roll under the wall. It's going to be Haikali. It's blocked from Marika. And that round of applause from the Red Army, it's kind of to say, well done, guys, because we can feel the pressure. Interesting dynamics here for African Stars, the Debmarine champions. FC Ongos are 5th in the log. Perhaps if they want to mount a credible challenge for the title, 3 points would probably be one of the big asks. Awilo breaking play. He goes to one player. He finds the pass to Pakocha. He didn't rush it. He looked up. He found the pass. But that pass, he did what he could to find Bakonja, and it was a good save from Johannes Matthews in goal for FC Ongos. This must be a snatch and grab for African Stars. A lot hasn't been going for them in this game, so maybe just to calm the nerves, they need to score. You can use YouTube to maybe just rewind a little bit and try and see if Awilo maybe had an attempt for himself there. He was very far out. So you can't blow Elago Simon with a chip there. The 6th foul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fouls given against African Stars in this second half. No fouls for FC Ongos. It just tells the story of the second half. What a chip that was from Simon. Almost reminded me about Ronaldinho. Tomo does well just to take the ball away from the avenue of Bakonja Chaikika. Here's Puna fighting against Gianluca. Puna wins. Haita goes wide. A beautiful ball there to Simon. He has time now. He's smart. Ooh. What an attempt. What a chance for FC Ongos to take the lead. The number 11, Puna. He had an easy task to just put that in the back of the net. And he's not a short player. He's one of the tallest players on the pitch. I mean, that would have maybe been an easy header for him. But Elago Simon is just cutting in the hearts of African stars. If he gets the ball, something is bound to happen. Haita. Oh, he loses the ball. Counter. Katua. Apologies. Jonas Matthews had to be alert. Ngero Katua almost giving African stars the lead as well. This is the game that we paid money for. It's really starting to heat up. Awilo does well. Erika, bad first touch, but he still gets the ball. Here he is again. Awilo. Stiga, what can he do now? The captain. He had a little bit of a back heel. Gianluca headed out from Tomo. Stiga, take the shot, son! And that's what he can do. And a substitution is being made. It is the number 15, Rika Munjua, being substituted for Godwin Isaac. The African Stars supporters are clapping hands, which is interesting. Rika doesn't even come to shake hands with his substitute. He did well. The round of applause is for him, Rika. So, not a harsh reaction from the Red Army supporters. Just giving him support. Gordon Isaac, an attacking midfielder, maybe has been brought onto the pitch to unlock the back four of FC Ongos. And there was another substitution for FC Ongos, the number 7, Malakia Thomas, has entered the pitch. We'll try to find out who he has come on for. He's giving pressure to Stiga, the substitute. But I will shortly confirm who the player has been subbed. And it is Puna, the player that had the last opportunity on goal with that header. He has been substituted for Malakia Thomas. Awilo going long, trying to find Bakonja. He's up against Mudunde. Dunde does well. Yakubu, Haita. Haita can just thread how many passes here to Simon? Good tackle there from Charles Hambira. No nonsense. Bad touch there from Godwin. Wangu Gome will eat that up all day. Thomas sending Ambira onto the floor. Yakubu looks up, takes a shot, and that's well wide. And though the scoreline is 0-0, it is, I'm looking at the supporters on both sides. They are locked onto this game as they believe something very exciting is about to happen. Juja couldn't find the pass to Katua, but Katua is strong. Juja couldn't round the defender. Back into the hands of FC Ongos. Haita. Kamatuzu. Baundi. Sorry for the pronunciation of the number 5 centre back. Baundi. Here he is again. Comes to Vatapi Tomo. And Tomo has put a bad pass. Stiga loses it. Thomas. Simon. Kamatuzu loses it to Godwin. And he loses it again. Danger ball. It's onside. It's Elago Simon. He cuts inside. He takes a shot. It's off target. Luckily. Shots are starting to mount up for FC Ongos. It's starting to get a little bit concerning. He's such a player to watch, the number 15 for FC Ongos. He's been playing closer to the spectators the entire game. The first half he was playing on the left flank, and in the second half he's on the right. He's showing everybody what he can do. I already knew that. As a commentator, I've watched Elago Simon do what he does. Vitapi Tomo. Back to his goalkeeper. And Kamatuzu is just losing the ball, the number 8 for FC Ongos. He seems to be lost in the game. And that's a corner. Wayward shot from Ngero Katua, but still ends up in a favorable corner. Maybe just a corner that allows African Stars to calm down. They need to understand and remember that class will always prevail. And Awilo just goes too far back. It's headed back into the fray. But Haikali clears and finds Thomas. Simon is back on the left flank. Thomas, almost a through ball there to Simon. And Awilo's in space. He's up against a defender and couldn't catch the ball. Thomas with the flick. Katua brings the ball. Awilo. Willow is being questioned here from the spectators. What is going on with him? But don't worry, Awilo always affects the game in one way or another. Good play from Godwin. He's coming into the game now. Jean-Luca. Juja coming deep. Awilo. Good ball retention from African Stars, but Jackson Johannes losing that ball, and here he comes now. Oh my goodness. It was a little bit of a junkie. We all saw that. A nutmeg on Jackson Johannes from Elago Simon. It touched his hand and it went out for a throw-in, so very lucky there. Because that might have been very embarrassing. Confidence now is in the hands of FC Ongos, it must be said. That's a foul. That's a foul, definitely. And the referee should probably have words with Vitapi Tumo. It's a hard challenge on Ngero Katua, but Katua is a crazy man, so he understands challenges like that. Aikali. Ball comes wide. Elago. That's a corner. First corner of the second half for FC Ongos. If the African Stars supporters online on YouTube tell your football friends and family that we are live, it's a little bit of a concerning game here. We need your energy. We need your support. Let us know what you believe the final score of this game will be. It's a very interesting one. It is Yakubu, the left back, that's going to take it. Katua with the header. Juja headers it out as well, but it's back into the hands of Ongos. Gome. Very clever from Gome. Charles Ambira. And now Stars can do what they can do. It's a foul against African Stars. The referee but what happened was Bakonja Taikika was running with the ball. Elago Simon tried to cut in front of him and both players collided. The referee is having now words with his fourth official just to understand what happened. In my mind, it might be a foul given, a free kick given to FC Ongos because Bakonja saw Elago Simon cutting in front of him and impeded him, trying to stop him from cutting in front of him, and that's a foul against African Stars. The supporters are very frustrated here at the UNAM Stadium. I'm sure all of you watching online are sharing the same frustration. Godwin. Gianluca. He looks up. Easy pass. Should go back to Gianluca. He's offside now. So Bakonja just has to win a throw-in. Could have given the easy pass to Gianluca. He was prime and ready to cross that ball in. And I'm sure you can see in your screens that FC Ongos have more of the confidence here. It's an interesting dynamic after coming from a cup game. League games are very different from cup games. Although both games are, of course, 90 minutes, there's more urgency in a cup game, where a league game, you have to ride the 90 minutes out. Steady, slow and steady wins the race in league games. You don't have to rush in a league game. That's a throw-in, not a foul to African Stars. Four players for African Stars are warming up. 3 players warming up for FC Ongos. Substitutions might be looming as Gome takes the ball from Ngero Katua, but he does win the foul nonetheless. He's had a good game, Ngero. It's been a frantic game for him. He's been in all the thick of the challenges, but he is strong enough to ride them. Good touch there from Juja. Shot on target, but safely saved from Matthews. My goodness, Elago Simon. He has his own highlight reel in this game. Yakubu, Haita, Gome, good pass out wide. Aikali, Yakubu, Babonde does well to just flick it up to his left back, and Aikali is fouled from Gianluca. Many fouls here for African Stars. It's about 9 fouls in the second half alone. FC Ongos have only committed 3 fouls in the second half. So that tells the story of the second half. Here's Godwin. Caught out. He shouldn't look for that pass if he can't make it, but Juja does well. Joseph, Godwin. Karuka goes to his captain, and Stiga loses the ball in a very bad position there. Elago Simon tries to round Hambira. He has, and he's been touched. My goodness, the referee says no penalty. And Elago Simon is a good sportsman. He doesn't argue with the referee, as he is the player that went down. But that was very close. Charles Ambira had to be very clinical with his challenge in the box. I mean, who are we giving man of the match to? It has to go to the number 15 of FC Ongos. Haikali has turned. Gianluca. Haikali can look up. Charles Ambira, right place at the right time. Gome. Haita. Good tackle from Charles Ambira again. That's the energy that African Stars need. Here's Yosef. He has time to calculate a pass. Goes wide to Bakonja. Bakonja will come back to his left foot. And the header is an easy one for the back line of Ongos. Foul. A good foul for African Stars. Wangu Gome just throwing the ball away. In European football, he might get a yellow card for that. But that's a good foul there. Charles Ambira, 2 timely challenges, maybe 3 timely challenges in the last 2 minutes from the brave warrior Charles Ambira. What an important, smart player. I'll make sure to shake his hand after the game. These are probably the moments that African Stars need to take advantage of in a game like this, where the confidence is lying with the team in 6th of the log table. In order for the Red Army to stay on top, they need to mount opportunities. It's Jackson, and it's over the crossbar. He has a good left foot, but not good enough to get that free kick on target. Tomo, Javera, Simon, beautiful turn, man. Thomas is up against Hambira. And Charles Hambira just does the smart thing once again. Wins the throw-in for Stars. Did you see that turn from Elago Simon? I mean, what can he do wrong? He hasn't put a foot wrong in this entire game. is Gome. Pressured by 3 players. Oh my goodness, he still gets the ball. He finds Simon. Good interception there from Garika. And that's a foul. It is definitely a foul. I have no idea why the FC Ongos players are arguing. Awilo tries to go long for Juja, but that's you can't do that. Not in a game like this. You need to get back possession. 10 minutes left in this game. And of course, with additional time, there have been many fouls. Haita, oh, with a beautiful chip. Charles Mbira with the interception. Another interception for Charles Mbira. And you can hear the supporters of African Stars thanking the number 5 centre back for the work he has done. He is the only player that is stopping FC Ongos from scoring. Here's Stiga now. Stiga does well. Wins the foul. And I'm sure you can hear the supporters right next to me sharing their views on how the game is going. Awilo needs to get into the game. We know he can affect the game at any turn. Chatindi needs to be smart. Simon! Off target. Luckily. This is a game where you just sit, watch and shake your head if you're an African Stars supporter. You can shake Charles Mbira's hand after the game, but to the other players, you might have to look at them and just say, let's take a point from this one. Juja's onside, but he can't keep it in. Substitution coming up in the last 10 minutes of the game. It is Ibrahim Yosef Juja being substituted for Jomo Chiveta. And Jomo scored in his, well, apologies, Jomo is actually the top goal scorer in the MTC Maris Cup. He scored 2 goals. So if he's able to score in the final, he will be the clear winner of 20,000. The top goal scorer for that tournament, for that cup, wins 20,000. So let's see if Jomo wants to change the game with his pace and energy. He's going to play on the left wing. Awilo is still on the right. He gets the ball now from Gianluca with Bakonja playing striker now, filling in that spot left by the substituted Ibrahim Yosef Juja. Here he is now, Bakonja, riding the challenge of one player. He gets the ball back from Godwin. The African Stars supporters didn't like that back heel from Godwin, but it's still in Stars' hands. Here's Jomo, the Greek freak from Greece. That's a corner. It should be a corner. That is a corner. Third corner. Third time is the charm, perhaps, for African Stars in these closing stages of the game. If they can get a goal, this will be deemed as a snatch and grab, because the better team has been FC Ongos, it must be said. It's a good one. Oh, it's headed out from the substitute, Malakia Thomas, number 7. Gianluca, can he do long throw-ins? No, he leaves it. for Jackson Johannes, who is a left back. So Gianluca will fill in at left back while Johannes takes this long throw. These are the moments. Header by Haita, still in the box. Header by Ngaruka in the hands of Matthews. And if you had to ask both coaches who would actually want a point, who would be more happy with a point, it has to be said, Coach Benny Hausep of African Stars would actually be more happy with a point. So many fouls given against African Stars. We will have the stats for you at the end of the game, because these fouls are perhaps in the 20s already. Chance. Oh, that's a tackle. And that will be a foul. Garuka just caught the player there. "20 fouls on the dot for African Stars. They have committed 20 fouls throughout this game. FC Ongos have only committed, I believe it is 10 fouls. Gome. Perhaps his first mistimed pass from Wangu Gome to Awilo. Awilo goes wide to Jomo. And Jomo, the man from Greece, couldn't keep the ball. Mabonde. Aikali couldn't put that header on. Yakubu just does the smart thing and headers the ball out. In these closing stages, though, African Stars are growing in confidence. The fourth official is preparing a substitution for FC Ongos, but he's also looking at his time and might be ready to signify how much additional time will be added to this game. Jomo slips at a very bad moment of the game because Elago Simon is there. Oh, makes him slip again. Oh, that's a beautiful junkie there from Cotton. No foul. Yakubu. Haikali. Haikali shielding the ball from Gianluca, and Awilo just comes to pick his pocket. Concedes the throw-in. Garuka can go back to his goalkeeper, but does the smart thing and just wins the goal kick. Chatindi, speaking of the goalkeeper, has just gone down. These are the closing moments of the game. You have to stay in this game, Chatindi. Alfredo, the team doctor, just coming to attend to the goalkeeper, but wow. Whew. Closing stages to this very heated game between FC Ongos and African Stars, and the referee, very interestingly so, has signaled to the African Stars bench that a substitution actually should be made for the goalkeeper. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no other goalkeeper on the bench for African Stars. Very interesting here. He will have to continue the game. You do not want to put an infield player. I'm sure Stiga captain, our captain, will probably take the responsibility. And just to confirm, a substitution for FC Ongos, Wangu Gome, the number 10, is being substituted for the number 25, Dengu. Chatindi will take this goal kick, so he's signaling to the Red Army supporters that he is okay to continue, but let's keep an eye on that. Katua finds Awilo. He's had a good game, Ngero Katua. I've said it before, and I wish to say it again. He's had a good game in that midfield. He's done what he could. Jomo taken off the ball from Haita, but Stiga gets the ball back. Good flick there from Godwin. Gianluca. Jomo. He can look up. He finds Godwin. He's onside. Gianluca. Good play from those three players. Good play from those three players to win a corner. Chahikika to take it. If there was any moment for a hero to soar from the clouds, it needs to be now. It needs to be now. Awilo is at the back post, not even in the box. Is there a hero? There's only a goal kick. FC Ongos may be slowing down the pace of the game, perhaps conceding to the fact that a point against the Debmarine champions is a good point nonetheless. Header on from Charles Mbida. Godwin couldn't catch the ball. Haita. Kamatuzu. Haita. Oh, beautiful touch from Katua. Javera kept it in. So here's Thomas. Cuts in. Finds Akali. Akali couldn't put the flick on, but he still finds Elago. Elago. Elago finds his player. Cleared from Ngaruka. Godwin. Strong challenge. Godwin still gets the ball back. Another strong challenge on Godwin, but it's still in the hands of African Stars. These are the closing moments for Jomo. Oh, he went into fire with that pass. Garuka, the strongest man in the league. He needs to get back into position, Garuka, though, but it was a good run from him, a good strong run. Another substitution is being readied for FC Ongos, and it is an attacking one. Nicodemus Haikali will be substituted shortly for Fidelis. So Nicodemus Haikali has not been the villain for African Stars this time around. He's always scored against African Stars, but he's now substituted for the number 12, Fidelis. Oh, Simon winning a foul with that flick against Awilo. And perhaps it can be said that it's a good point for both teams. African Stars coming back from an important cup game. It's always tough to get back into the swing of things, coming back into league football. And for the 6th team in the log, FC Ongos, getting a point against the league toppers is not a bad outing for a home game. Kamatuzu takes the ball off Ngero. Finds Stanley Njavera. Good tackle from Ngero Katua. He lost the ball, still was able to concede the throw-in, and he's gone down. He's been running his socks off, Ngero Katua. Still smiling. He's a player that most of the football faithful in Namibia know. He's a hard worker. He needs to work hard in these closing stages as the free kick comes in, headed out. Yakubu. And that is the game. Whew. African Stars supporters can now exhale because we now know the result. It was a second half full of pressure, but still no shots on target for FC Ongos in that second half, a few off target. The confidence was with the team in orange, but it is the Red Army that will just tell themselves that, hey, we did what we came to do. We didn't lose. We've gained a point, and we're still top of the log. Thank you for joining us. My name is Emmanuel Nkara. We'll see you next week. See you next time.